The speaker for the last session is Major Madhan Kumar. He is an alumnus of prestigious OTA, a veteran, a geopolitical analyst, senior fellow, DRAS columnist, public speaker, entrepreneur, farmer, logistics professional, corporate guest lectures. He was his education is XLRI from Jamshedpur and a BTech from Madras University. He is in the Indian Army 2003 to 2009. He had been in operations in Poonch, Pathankot, Doda, and his achievements are Operation Rakshak Medal, Sainya Seva Medal, High Altitude Medal, Army Commander's Commendation Card, and Counter-Terrorism Operations. He is a supply chain management professional. He is the director of MMK YouTube channel. So the stage is yours, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Jai Hind. It's been a wonderful day for the Indian defense industry, and thanks to the organizers. It's no feat or no kind of amount of applause would be enough to thank you, ma'am, and to thank you all, because we are at a very, very important phase of Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliance and defense. This is one of its nature. It's a private venture. It's been a second successful year, and I wish 100 more and more years, because this becomes a platform for all of us to get together, the academia, the MSMEs, the startups, the entrepreneurs, and along with the users, be it DRDO, Indian Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, and so. So to start with, I'll keep this as a very, very basic session of everybody has put a query. Like in my channel, we keep on interacting with a lot of people. So there are a lot of young brains, there are a lot of ideas, there are a lot of innovations, but we don't know where we should present it, where exactly we should approach, which government offices. You know, there is a set of bureaucratic and procedural complications here. So I'll try my best in this next 20 minutes to clear as much as possible. This presentation is available with the organizers, and you can reach me out if you want, any one of you could want to have this presentation with you. It's completely an open source. So this was presented, I customized it. This was presented a month ago in IIT Delhi when we had the IEEE conference, where people from different IITs and global institutions assembled in IIT Delhi. We had a 3-day extensive session, but here it's a very limited capsule one. So this will be intense. I request every one of you to pay the maximum attention for next 20-25 minutes. So now when we speak about defense, we should start with where the war has changed. Earlier, humans fought with hand-to-hand combat, fist, and then later on the bow and arrow came in. So whoever was strong was winning, and later when the bow and arrow came, we all know whoever could aim and shoot, they won. Later on it became weapons. And then today's technology, the latest example is the Ukraine-Russia war, where we are speaking about drones, artificial intelligence, and a lot of other disruptive technologies which has come into this thing. So today's war, if you see, so we have, there is an ideologue. So people, countries fight on ideology, countries fight for geography, countries fight economically. The visual one we got to see is what we see, the battlefield. There are a lot of other fronts of war which we don't see actually, but it's happening every day, be it information warfare or be it cyber warfare. There are other dimensions of warfare. Things have changed drastically. So we classify broadly that into kinetic and non-kinetic. Kinetic is the one where we physically engage with weapons, missiles, tanks, soldiers, and so on. So non-kinetic, there is no weapons, there is no physical combat, there is no missiles, but we engage in terms of using food as a weapon. We saw it in Ukraine, using oil and energy as a weapon, using cyber as a weapon, using information as a weapon, using propaganda as a weapon. So today the war is getting more into non-kinetic space. So why am I specifically telling about this is, for all of you who have a business venture or who have a business idea and who want to do something or have your presence felt in defense, don't only think about the machine part of it, which is kinetic, be it missiles, tanks, UAVs and so on. So there is a sizable amount of opportunities available in the non-kinetic side. So to start with, I'll just give you a very simple example of what's happening in our western borders. Punjab, a very, very critical state for us as country. For the past 3-4 years, we are constantly facing a threat of low-cost drones sent by Pakistan that carries weapons, small arms like pistols, it carries ammunitions, and it carries a lot of drugs. So if you see the graphics, 2021 we had 65 incidents in Punjab. In 2022 it has gone up to 267, which is a 5-fold increase, and this year we are seeing a much more increase about it. So this is one of a drone which was caught by the Punjab police. We have a huge deployment of BSF guarding our borders, but this is a clear challenge for us. So now to engage a drone, to get the drone down, we can engage it kinetically. Take a weapon, aim it and shoot at it. Or you can engage non-kinetically with a direct energy weapon. Where it comes in, we disconnect the source of its navigation, which is basically the GPS system, using technology, and the drone is blind, it just falls down. So we have both a kinetic and a non-kinetic option. Currently what we are doing is, we have used our radars, indigenous radars, and we are using radio frequency jammers, RF jammers, which has yielded good results so far, but our enemy also thinks a step ahead. Now they are no more using a RF jammer, they are using other frequencies. So this is a clear challenge. Anyone who has got a solution for this, both kinetically and non-kinetically. When I say kinetically, you have to identify first, identification is the first phase. Second is to track them. Third is to engage them, and fourth is to get them down. There are 4 phases in any such challenges. In this, if you are able to have an technology or develop a program, it may be, hey, we have a chunk of data available with us. If one of your organization can think in these lines, this is a real big opportunity. Why am I highlighting this specific one? It is readily acceptable. Government really needs it. The user really wants it. So it's up for grab now. So can anybody say what is the size of the pie when we speak about defense manufacturing, domestic and abroad? Can you just think about the size of this industry, the potential this industry has? India alone, we buy close to 2.5 lakh worth of arms and ammunitions and tech and solutions. And we are currently at $2 billion of export. We are planning to multiply it n times by 2030. So there are 2 sweet spots for India. We have other challenges, I'll come to it. The 2 sweet spots are when a country decides to buy a defense product from another country, the first thing that comes is, which alliance, global alliance are they in? Are they NATO-based, West-based, or are they Russia-based, East-based, and the new challenger in the world today, China-based? So if the sweet spot for us is, we are not part of any of this alliance, we have charted our own way in the past 10 years. So many of the countries, for example, a NATO nation, if it wants to buy a S-400 missile defense system from Russia, it has to face American sanctions, example, Turkey. Similarly, if the east side, a Russian ally like Belarus or Iran wants to buy something from NATO, they cannot buy it because US won't allow it to happen so because of sanctions and restrictions. Chinese, yes, there is a sizable market which Chinese have gone through, 14 plus countries they have been exporting, but chunk of their exports specifically goes to Pakistan. And Pakistan, we call them as a compulsive buyer because Chinese are given billions of loans, they have to buy from them, there is no other option. Here is where our country takes a lead. We are seen as a country which is like Switzerland way back in World War II. We are in that sweet spot. Anybody who buys from us is not going to face any sanctions from either from the US or from China or from the Eastern world. Second thing is the force, the manpower available here. 2030, by almost 50-60% of our country will be less than 30 years. So we have great brains here, we have great people here, and we have the great atmosphere here. 10 years before, if somebody would even speak to me about starting something like defense startup, I would say no, because the bureaucracy, so-called red tapeism, was huge. I would still say it does exist, coming from the other side of the table, but things are, it is unimaginable. Just I went and visited my one of my brother officers, exhibition center there. One of a battalion of 12th Madras has put up their stall displaying their weapons. 10 years before, when I was in service, I can't even take a photograph with my rifle and show it to my family. It was that opaque. Now it is all transparent. So please make use of this opportunity. The primary site I would like all to visit is IDEX. IDEX has three, which is IDEX Prime, which is related to space, and then we have IDEX Prime Sprint, and then we have Defense Idea Startup Challenge, which is DISC. Currently, the government has published DISC 7. So there is 7 rounds of innovation. DISC 8 will be out in next month or so. Please keep following this website. Once you go and click DISC, Defense Innovation Startup Challenge, you will have the list of problem statements. What does the Army, Navy, Air Force exactly wants? A clear statement of what they need. And you may have an idea. The idea maybe would have been in a proto stage, or I would say prototype stage, maybe a sensor, maybe a thermal imager, anything, any idea. I'm not restricting to only products, it also includes services. So if you have something like that, which matches with this, all you need to do is to put up a proposal, keeping the user's problem statement in mind. If you are not able to decipher it, you can always see the OSINT, open source intelligence, it's wide open. You can approach me or any one of us who have already been in the forces. We will be able to assist you what exactly they want. Once this matches, you present your paper, upload it, and if the government selects it, the user selects it, you can also note down the email ID, it's a PDF file, you can call them, and then you can be in communication in email, or if you want, you can go personally meet them and understand what exactly they want. And the successful ideas are given a minimum funding of 3 crore, no questions asked. So please participate in DISC. This doesn't even require a person to have a company, not even a 1% or proprietorship company. All you need to have is the idea, and the idea should match their need. So if you look at, sorry, my internet connection is down. Ramesh, can you switch on the hotspot? So I would want to show you the sample challenges. Yeah. So this is one of the challenge. This was in cyber security. People who are engaged in cyber security, data protection, data analytics, this comes into play. So don't, when we assemble this as cyber security, it's a broader spectrum, but it has got every aspects of the IT, which includes computing as well, networking as well. So the Indian Army has given 3 problem statements, and various other government organizations have given so many problem statements. Let's see one example of this thing. Okay. So the Directorate General Military Operations, the Army Cyber Group, is given a statement which is into cyber forensics. In today's scenario, the various COTS, commercial off-the-shelf drones, including locally manufactured drones, is vast, and it's supposed to carry out forensic investigation is very limited. So they're looking for a drone. The hardware is already there. What they're looking at exactly is to use the drone in a forensic environment. Now you can see this website defacement detection and mobile app scanner. This is very simple. I know a lot of you guys are doing it, the techies. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I rushed it. Thank you for pointing me out. So this is one problem statement where you can say website defacement detection and mobile app scanner. This comes under cyber threat challenge. We all, yeah, thank you. So this is how the statement looks. It is standardized. So you will have the challenge domain and you will have the challenge brief. Here it says requirement of an integrated platform to carry out vulnerability assessment and defacement detection of organizations' internet-facing websites and to carry out scanning of organization-related mobile apps hosted in open domain to detect any vulnerabilities or malicious content. It's simple. The cyber armies of our neighbors, the China specifically and Pakistan, they go and deface our website. So they want to identify who has done it, from which IP address, possible causes, and how to prevent it. It's very simple cases. These are all already available in civil domain. A lot of startups are doing a much greater job. So this is where you can actually partner with the people, with the users here. So this is specific to cyber. So there are a lot of other challenges which will come up, which will also come into component manufacturing, as simple as making a nut bolt for a missile, or maybe a small purging device for a battle tank. So all this comes under IDEX. So please follow it very religiously. And if you have any technical difficulties as far as IDEX is concerned, there is a helpline. You can always call them or email them. That will give you a very fair note. So this is specific for startups. Anybody who has an idea, the user wants something, the idea and the user requirement marries up in this particular website called IDEX. Now we have Make in India, specific for defense. Make in India defense. You can see check the website. So I kept it deliberately in the project list. I'm not going to the home page. So these are bigger projects which is specific for MSMEs and any company which is like got a turnover of say 3 crore and above. I'm just giving a ballpark figure. This is not a hard rule. Here you have the bigger ticket items, the bigger organizations who are involved in defense manufacturing, like Kalyani Defense Systems, L&T. So they go I see what all they can do. This is the bigger projects. This comes after AON, acceptance of necessity. The Army, Navy and Air Force projects what they want to the government, and the government gives an in-principle approval. That's called an AON. So these are the projects which has already got the AON. The funds have been allocated. Now it is going to the procurement process. So these are all mostly hardwares, and sometimes you also get to see a software related stuff as well. So like shipborne laser weapon system 30 kVA. So these are the ones where the civil organization is already making a laser based product, say for example a medical industry or something. So you can alter it as per the need and put in use for the defense industry. So now we have some product or a service which may not be of an imminent need to the forces here, or it is not present in IDEX. You have a great idea, you have a great product concept, but it is not available. So what do we do? So we can look at the export market. Now to promote defense exports, government has done a major policy change. This is like unseen and unheard of in those times when we were in uniform. So every country, our nation sends somebody called a defense attaché. He's a senior military officer who goes to a country in other countries. Like US, we have defense attaches, like Thailand, all the friendly nations will have a defense attaché. The defense attache's job earlier was to find out the best defense tech available in that particular country, get the technology here to our country. Now it has been reversed. The defense attaches are your free marketing managers. If you have a great idea or a product or a service, they go and present it to their countries. This is how we got a big defense order from a country called Armenia. We are supplying Indian MBRL systems, Pinaka rockets. You would have seen the multi-barrels where the rockets keep firing. Looks very fancy. So that kind of support is available through the defense attaché, but he or she works in the background. So where exactly you can find about this particular opportunities of defense XM, what all you can export, what the other countries, India's friendly nations needs. Our alliance partners, like we have Quad, we are in BRICS, we are in G20. There are a lot of bilateral agreements which India has put in the last 10-15 years. So those countries which need something, like Africa is a very big market, because there we can imagine African nations to be in a place where we were like 50 years before. So those are the countries who look for optimal. There is nothing called cheap in defense. We call it as optimal. Optimized product which can deliver them. We have value for money product. So those countries cannot go and afford a NATO weapon or a US-based tech. It's quite expensive. Chinese have reliability issues. Today when we speak about why China, I'm not comparing us with China technologically. It will be wrong on my part. They're technologically ahead of us. We should accept it. In a lot of tech, they are 20, 30 years ahead of us. But the problem with China is, in the latest Pew survey which was conducted, it's an organization which conducts something like a Gallup we do in the organization. So this survey was, results were out for the year 2023. Chinese reputation globally is at the all-time low. Indian reputation is kind of mixed, but most of our friendly countries, our reputation is quite high. When we speak about reputation, it's not about how they look at Indians. It's about how they look at our products, how they look at our services in the diaspora abroad. So that's why I'm saying defenseexim.gov.in is a very important site where you will get to see all the export-related opportunities. So any other country which needs something from India, it may be as simple as a back-end office. It may be as simple as a data interpretation. It may be as simple as a data analysis. It may be artificial intelligence. It may be anything. So this is a spot where you can go, sorry, the net connection is slow, but I think it will get loaded now. Yeah. So here you will see the list of products which has export potential from India to other nations. We have the friendly nations here. So, to be specific about this, so we can see these are the areas, electronic communications and ICT. And then we have thermal images, weapon systems, LoRa's. I'll not get into the detail of it. So all these countries need these weapons. So this page basically gives our heavyweights. The Indian government's companies like Bell or HAL or DRDO who would want to export items. So these are the items which are showcased for the outsider to look at us. So you can also do the same. You don't have to open a separate website, do your own marketing. All you need to be present at the right place at the right time. So this is the right place where if you look at export as an opportunity for the market. And not pertaining to only products and services, there are a lot of companies which markets Indian products. They have a very good system. Say for example in a country like Kenya or Zambia, you have an office which does something else. You may be exporting a food product, or you may be exporting textiles, or you may be into a plywood industry, immaterial. But if you have a very strong marketing force, you can collaborate with the government. One of my close friends, it's a Bangalore-based company. Confidentiality, I would not be able to reveal the company's name. They are the official marketing, I would say marketing company for our Akash missiles in Africa and in Middle East. So this was possible in the current scenario. You can't even think of getting a piece of paper from DRDO earlier. So if you have a strong marketing setup for an existing company, you can leverage this particular opportunity without increasing your overheads and building up a new company. So that is also available. So this is government e-marketplace, gem.gov.in, government e-marketplace. This is an Amazon for the government. So any government organization, not limited to defense forces, railways, your ONGC, any government company, Coal India, any government company, if they have to buy a product or a service which is above 5,000 rupees, they have to mandatorily purchase from gem.gov.in, government e-marketplace. I and my partner, we run a company, we are registered vendors of GEM. So here, if you have any product that may be as simple as a pencil, to a stationery paper, to a herbal drink, or something like what you see out here, a table, a chair, anything what you see out here. If you are a manufacturer, distributor, or a trader of this, you can register yourself here. You can go to the sign up. You can go to seller services. Say, for example, you are providing services for AC maintenance, AMCs, manpower services, consultancy services, payroll services. So everything comes in here. This precisely takes 30 minutes to 1 hour to register yourself as a company. You can register as a proprietor, partnership, LLP, anything, private limited, anything. This opens up the windows of opportunity. There are a lot of YouTube videos which guides you process by process, step by step. Even a woman sitting at home, see, she makes or she trades in, say for example, a camera, a CCTV camera or a small technological solution or a sensor or as simple as a sanitation hygiene related chemical. You can put your product here and you can limit your geography, say for example Chennai, or you can go pan-India, all the options are available. The buyer doesn't meet the seller here. It's absolutely transparent. The buyer doesn't meet the seller. You don't know who is buying from you. The seller doesn't know who is he buying from. So there is absolutely no way of whatever unprincipled stuff like corruption or so and so. It is completely transparent. You don't need to have somebody in the department to get the government contract. Absolutely no. This is open for all, a fair trade. So it started way back 5 years before. We were like hardly doing some 5,000 crore of business in gem, purchases by the government. Today, this is in excess of 2 lakh crore in Indian currency. This is a huge business. So, thank you. So all the governments, now a step further, all the state governments will also be mandated to buy from GEM. Tamil Nadu is still an exception. A lot of state governments have already started doing it. So this is completely transparent. You can put in your product. It is like listing yourself as an Amazon seller or a Flipkart seller, and they buy it. Anything above 25,000, which the government, any government agency wants to buy, they'll have to go for a bidding. So your product, if it is listed, say for example, I want to sell a mobile with a specific configuration. So you can be an importer, you can be a trader, whatever it is. So all the traders can participate in Q3 and Q4. That's a segment. And all manufacturers can, or the OEMs, the original equipment manufacturers, can participate in Q1 and Q2. So if you go, click a product, and then you see, say like for example, I would say, can anyone suggest a product or a service? Anybody dealing with anything? We'll check whether this gem needs it. Vacuum heat treatment. So this is a search. So this shows up a lot of stuff. Say for example, I'll just, in the interest of time, I'll stick to something which is available now. Say for example, it's a resistant glove. So once you do the search, I'm doing it as a buyer, not a seller. So this is how it looks. So here you get a rating as well. Your rating in gem is very, very important. If you mess up in quality, if you mess up in time of delivery time, quality, both, the user will rate you less. The lesser the rating, the lesser probable you get the business. The more the rating, the more the probable it is. And too much of negative ratings, you will be blacklisted for a period of certain time. Any unethical practice, duplicacy, piracy, stuff and stuff, you will be blacklisted forever because it picks up your PAN number. So now this is how your product gets listed. So this particular product, somebody has put a 50 MRP, 56, so and so, so and so. Now you can go click and then see what's the technical specification of the product. So sometimes the user buys it off the shelf. A lot of times user wants a customized product. With the same glove, I need a logo, I need a Velcro with a X strength of a certain polymer. So those things you can download the BOQ, analyze it. You can write emails, communicate. You can understand what they, you can get the clarity of what they exactly want, and then you can bid for that particular thing. So that is customized bidding. In general, you can list n number of your products. If you have say for example, somebody has a shop or a factory which manufactures few components, say 5 components. You can list those 5 components here. All you need to be is a registered vendor of GM that requires basic registration process like your PAN, your Aadhaar, and your IT returns and bank account details and so on. And then you have to take 3 photographs of the product in a clear background. Then you go and upload the product. It goes for an approval. Generally, the approval happens within 2 to 4 hours, at the max 8 hours. Once your product is listed, it is visible for all the central government companies and the defense across the country. You have to be very competitive on the rate. Payment is again completely transparent. You bid the product, you win it, it shows up. You deliver it, it shows up. Goes for payment, it shows up. Once it paid, it also shows up. Generally, the payment term, so that you can plan your working capital accordingly, is around 30 to 40 days. So cyber, I put one the big slide out here. Cyber is a serious issue for any country. We are hardly spending anything on our cyber capabilities. So when we say cyber, it is not cyber defense. We are currently looking at cyber offensive capabilities. So when we say cyber offense, it's clearly understood. We have the ability of using cyber against our enemy in case we need it. For example, we had a terrorist attack in Uri where we lost 40 soldiers. So the response from country, the nation was to send our fighter jets inside and to bomb the terrorist hideouts. So this is a kind of a disproportionate response. We crossed their border, we went across the LOC, we did it. But if a cyber attack is done by Pakistan, say for example on an Indian Army's website or AIMS or any government website, we cannot send our fighter jets there, or we can't send our soldiers to go and attack them. So we need to have a mechanism to respond to such threats or such attacks. That's why we say cyber offenses. So cyber warfare, if you read the 3 headings, it is clear we have charted our path in the last 5 years. We are going to get offensive in cyber, and they have already felt it. There is an Indian APT group, it's a cyber hack group called Evil Flaw. They literally made China bleed during peak of COVID, and China gave it back in terms of attacking our power grid in Mumbai. Mumbai was out of power for I think 10, 14 hours or so. And then we also do frequently with our best friend, which is Pakistan. So anybody who thinks of cyber defense, don't only restrict your thinking process to defense. We are looking for offensive mechanism here. So we can't expect our soldiers in uniform to become cyber experts and go and wage a cyber war. We have specialists for that who are in uniform. But this space is wide open to you. Anybody have any good ideas, please do approach them. Or you can also mail me or reach me out. We already are working on this particular domain. So India's cyber capabilities, we have CERT. How many of you are aware of CERT, CERT? Is anybody aware of CERT? It is called Computer Emergency Response Team. If a cyber attack happens on India, what will we do as a country? Say for example, if somebody attacks your base core of like say something like Aadhaar, what happens then? So CERT comes into play. So this is something like an NDRF, National Disaster Relief Force. So CERT, unlike a government organization where it typically goes for a UPSC based recruitment or an exam based recruitment, this is completely lateral. So anybody who wants to pick up this as a career, go to CERT website. It is completely lateral entry. You don't have to prepare for civil services or UPSC. The idea of this is we want to attract and we want to gain the pure skill and talent. So that is why I am highlighting this. Then we have the CSAW, which is Cyber Command Op and Supporting Wing. This is a very young organization which was created a year before. Much of this information will not be available in the public domain. So whatever offensive capabilities you can think of actually gets employed by them. Then we have the DYCA, Defense Cyber Agency, which is a tri-services agency which specifically takes care of information leak. What we see, our information gets leaked from DRDO, the missile programs. We have this anti-trap operations on us. We have cyber operations on us. When we say cyber, it is not only about defacement. Using social media against us is cyber op. I would give an example of what happened in 2010. We had an issue in Bangalore where there was the northeastern people suddenly got panic and they started leaving Bangalore. It was totally chaos. I don't know how many of you would have seen it. WhatsApp was not there at those times. So when we went and researched what happened exactly, there were 25 lakh SMSs which was sent through 2 people to create a panic. It just took one. So that's where the country banned bulk SMS. So we have an immediate knee-jerk reaction of going and banning something. Do this, ban the internet. Movie ban. Movie ban doesn't work. Nothing works. Nothing can be banned in the virtual world. It's impossible. So we need solutions for that. So you can think of that particular area. So it's a very vast, wide subject. The time is very limited. What I am highlighting you is the low-hanging fruits, the immediate need, which the agencies and the governments and the defense forces want. So disruptive tech, when we say disruptive tech, maybe from 10 years before, if you ask me who was the biggest transporter in the country, it was the government agencies. The Mumbai, I think BTS was one of the biggest company which was the fleet operator. Today it is Ola. But Ola, does it really own a car or a cab? It doesn't. Airbnb, does it own a property? It is not. OYO, does it own a property? No. So these are the disruptive technologies. Similarly, in battlefield, there are a lot of disruptive technologies which have already come in. So think out of the box. There are a lot of things which we can do. Disruptive technologies can really change the battlefield. This gives us a lots and lots of advantages in the battlefield. Just check this video. So you can see something from the air, from the sky, it went and hit something. So this is a real battle footage from Ukraine, Russia. The one which was being hit, it's a German tank, one of the most advanced tank, one of the most expensive tanks. It cost in excess of $100 million. The one which went and hit cost 75 lakhs. That's a simple 50cc diesel engine drone. 50cc petrol engine drone. Imagine a TVS 50's engine, which is the size of my, this is the size of the engine. So this engine was fit in a drone. It was fitted with a GPS. It was fitted with an impact sensor. It was flown and it took on a German tank, a mighty German tank. You know what it costed Germany? All the orders of that particular tank by various countries were put on hold because it literally humiliated them. They built such a mighty mission, such a huge 40-ton tank with the best of technologies, armored, with best of, we call it as ERA, explosive reactive armored. And outside the tank, if you see, there are boxes, like tiffin boxes kind of a structure. What it does actually is, when a missile comes in, it senses and it explodes. And it diverts the missile. It reduces the kinetic impact of the missile. Nothing worked because in this tank, there is one particular sweet spot. They identified it. It was programmed in the drone. Some guy just flew it. It went and hit them. Now they have stopped using those tanks, expensive hardware in the battlefield. So we have such mighty tanks. We have Arjuns, we have T-72s, we have T-90s. We have great weapons, fine. But if something like this can take on a mighty thing, I'll give another real life example of what happened with us way back in, I think, 2020. In Jammu airport, it's a defense airport, where we have a strategic fighter jets like Jaguars. In Jammu, just 50 meters from the hangar where this, fighter jets were parked, our security men shot down a Pakistani drone. The drone had closed down to 4-5 kgs of RDX. That is enough to blow up the hangar and to blow up an aircraft. If you would have lost 5 aircrafts, it would have costed us more than 3,000 crore. And the cost of the drone is just 7 lakhs. It's available in Alibaba and Amazon. So this is the capability we are exactly looking at. It's a very simple solution. They call it as kamikaze drones. In Iran, they call it as, it's called a suicidal drone. If you go and research it, I thought it's a mighty technology and stuff. Nothing. It's just a 50cc petrol engine, a TVS 50 size engine, a Chinese engine, and then they fit with some fancy stuff, it goes. Even if I lose 10, 100, 1,000, it doesn't matter to me. I can take off much bigger hardware. War cost a lot of money. War cost a lot of money, stress on the economy. So today's world, we are looking at those technologies which can help us to fight a low-cost war. So please don't think that defense is something, it's a mighty elephant. We spend, in excess of 2% of our GDP. It's a blank check. No. We fight a battle typical to a corporate company. Should I use this? We have BrahMos. Everybody is aware of BrahMos. It can go supersonic and so. You know how much a BrahMos missile cost? It costs quite a lot. If I use a BrahMos to say target a enemy, a tank or artillery gun, it's not worth it. It's meant for strategic purposes. So in the battlefield, we need disruptions. We need technology disruptions. I'm not a technical person. What I'm saying is, I'm just giving you a thought provoking. I'm just provoking your thoughts. Some simple mission or a emitter or a receiver, whatever it is, if it can take down drones which is like coming in 5-kilometer radius, we can stop drug coming in from Pakistan to India. And if you are able to stop from coming in, we can relieve chunk of our soldiers. Everything costs us money. So please do think about this. Any technology which is used anywhere else. I'll give another example before I end my speech here. Again, due to confidentiality, I'll not be able to name it. That particular sensor is used in cancer detection. That one particular sensor is used in cancer detection. One of a company in Gujarat makes it for General Electrics and Wipro, this medical equipment manufacturing companies. The same sensor by a technician who is a diploma qualified person. He thought, why can't I use it here? Now that is getting used in a hardware. I will not be able to reveal where it is. It's going to be a game changer in the future. So the idea, the world is wide open. So these are the major areas where you can exactly come in with your technical capabilities, with your fresh ideas. I just have an idea, I don't have money, fine. If it's able to crack your DISC, Defense Innovation Startup Challenge, you're going to get a straight away funding of 3 crore, unquestioned. Even if you fail, it's fine. The government is ready to spend on talent. We will experiment, we will fail, we will fall down, we will come back again the way we did, landed up in the south pole of moon a week before. So this is what the army, the navy, the forces looks from you. Do you have it in you? It's up to you too. And in the next 5 minutes, we can have a quick question and answer session. Anybody, any doubts which I'll be able to answer it, I'll definitely do so. If not, I'll refer and come back to you. Open to you. If there are no questions, it's either, I think sir gave me a post-lunch session. Apologies, I tried to keep all of you awake.
This, which scheme is implemented 50 CR handling and with effect from when?
Come again, sir?
Some scheme dealing about 2C to 10C is extended and then now talking about 50 CR. Which scheme that and when it is implemented with effect?
The startup is 3 CR,
okay.
3 crore funding. If you just have an idea, you don't have anything else.
Okay, startup idea for 50% or 100% that 3 crore
it's
translates?
100%.
100% translates.
All I have is an idea. I don't have a single penny in my pocket.
Okay.
Still you get 3 crore of funding.
3 crore, maximum.
And then the next level is the government
okay.
approves you as a defense startup.
Okay. After
Once you get approved as a defense startup,
okay.
then you have tax ESOPs, then you go and participate conferences abroad,
okay.
your opportunity widens up, there is a startup incubator, you have access to various technologies labs.
Okay.
Like if you say for example you want to manufacture some component which is used in say a rocket engine.
Okay.
But as an individual or a company, I cannot go and have the access to that facility. It's quite expensive or it is not available.
Okay.
The moment you become a defense startup, all this things open up. You can then quickly scale up and then test all your prototype equipments and get a finished product.
After implementing the prototype, that is for market open for the further 3 crores. That is called 50 crores.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
50 crores translates to 100%, no? Or 90%?
It's 90%.
Okay, 90 only.
And one more area which I forgot to cover here in the presentation is we are looking at disruptive technologies in our naval warfare, which is the naval drones.
Okay.
Ukraine doesn't have a navy, but it took on 3 mighty ships of Russia. So we are looking at naval drones.
Okay. This naval drone and other this disruptive sector, this problem statement list is there somewhere.
I couldn't.
Problem statement list.
To keep the mic a bit away from your.
No, the problem statement area, which are the needed segments. You mentioned about cyber security needed segment.
Yeah.
So somebody to come up with the need technology for the cyber attack and other things. Those list problem statement is somewhere we can be able to see it.
That is in the IDEX site. IDEX, this site.
Yeah, I know it. Yes. Yeah.
You can
IDEX
check it here. Please, you can note down this website, idex.gov.in.
General list will be there. Any segment wise is categorized.
It gives you a common PDF file, which tells you the requirement problem statement of Army, Navy, Air Force, DRDO, HAL, ISRO, anything.
Okay, common. Okay.
Anybody else?
Hello, sir. So actually, you spoke about the drone technology, sir. But when we try to manufacture drone, all the components that needed to make a drone are from the Chinese one. All the chips and things that we need, the motors, the propellers. So is it good to buy from them raw materials from them and manufacture drone here?
See, drones, there is a list of, we call it as indigenization percentage. So if they say it has to be 100% indigenous, there is no questions. You can't even get a piece of plastic from China. Drones, we have not made it 100% indigenous. You get the prototype ready. You display. You are making a drone for some purpose. And that purpose is the need for the army, for example. So if you are able to make it, component sourcing, they will tell you where to procure it from. They have other friendly countries. It's not only China. We have Taiwan, we have Vietnam. A lot of other countries do produce that. All you need to be bothered about is my idea and how that idea can help me build up a product for the defense. Component, indigenization, China alternate, it's there everywhere. We can't completely ban imports from China and do something else. But they have other friendly countries producing and giving us other options. Like today, CCTVs, we don't buy it from, the Navy, Army has completely banned any CCTV which is coming from China, directly or indirectly. Components are bought here, assembled here, strictly no. So we have German options, we have GE, Bosch, which is expensive, but we are ready to spend the money. Okay.
GE Bosch, which component you are mentioning, sir? GE Bosch, which critical component they supply to you?
Yeah, they do. Lot of
Any
components.
specific mention, top critical product too?
I would not be able to tell it off the shelf.
Okay.
I'll refer it to you.
Okay.
There are a lot of, if you can go to that XM site, here
Exim.
you'll have defenseexim.gov.in. That has got a list of
Defense
all the
Exim.
defense companies.
Okay.
This is another good resource. If somebody who wants to be a product or a service provider for the defense manufacturing company, you want to know how many Indian companies are there, this is the active list. You can go to this site and see it.
Okay, B2B player list.
Yeah.
And 50 CR is with effect from when, sir? I forgot to ask.
I think it got affected with effect from 2022.
Or recent.
Yeah, reason, and if there is a change, they will tell you.
I think.
So this is what I would want you to see, defense industry catalog. This year it is yet to be published. This has the exhaustive list of all the companies, who does what, who manufactures what, everything is here. So catalog Indian defense industry, you can simply Google it, you will get this PDF file. Indian defense industry 2022. This is an exhaustive encyclopedia of which company, who makes what. You want to make something, your competitor, every list of information is available here. And then the question asked by my friend, we have this called positive indigenization list. This is also available freely in the internet. This is 2022, this year I am yet to get it. So this gives you the list of items which the government has told the forces not to import. Any manufacturer, be it DRDO, BL, HAL, Army, Navy, Air Force, the list of items which have been published here cannot be imported from any other country. They have to buy it from an Indian company. So these are all tested. Say for example, you have HMV camshaft bimetal bush. Now this would have been manufactured by some tier 2 supplier for an existing automobile like Ashok Leyland or Tata. Now that particular small company, MSME or a small factory, has identified this, that the government wants this, the tank or the HMV heavy vehicles. This is basically used as a tank transporter. So now these two things matches. They do a CNC, they do a design, CNC, put the design to the user, he gives his input, and then comes the metallurgy. They do the metallurgy perfectly fine. They use it, it gets approved by the Director General Quality Assurance, DGQA. Once it is approved, your product is listed. Any government agency which has to buy this component, you become one of the supplier. If you are a single supplier, obviously they will buy it from you. If there are multiple suppliers, they will go for a bidding. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
How to get into this? Because today there are a lot of spare capacities available in very reputed machine shops. They got plenty of machine centers, CNC lathes, and copious capacity is available, unutilized. Okay. Now, how to get into this? Because I have been listening to your lecture. Now you say we have to refer this Indian defense industry as a website, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. The moment we go into that, what we'll have to do? We have to register ourselves as one of the supplier.
Yeah.
showing the company complete credentials.
You can, if you want to do a research, no registration is required. You can see who all want what wants. Or if you have, say for example, where is your factory, sir?
In 6-7 kilometers from here.
From here.
Yeah.
So for you, the nearest manufacturer, a huge defense establishment is the heavy vehicles factory.
Already.
You can go to the heavy vehicles factory. You can meet the you can go right across. They have got a stall. They have got a stall, sir. HVF. Yeah, HVF is right here. You can meet them.
Okay.
Take the contact of the procurement manager. Should be a DGM procurement level person. Right. They would publish a list of items. That's also available on the website. To make your life easier, if the defense establishment is next door, you can go and meet them. You can take samples also. Okay. You can go replicate it, come back and give that this is what it is. Then it goes through a trial. 2010, like I will say 2007, this trial used to take around 6 to 7 years. By then the product itself will get outdated.
Right.
Now it takes less than a year. I am saying critical components. Simple metal.
Thank you, sir, for your clarification.
So you can meet them, sir. You can meet them. They will have the list and that also gets published. Right. For example, 6 months before, somebody had mailed me, they got a small factory in somewhere near Trichy. They went and met the ordnance factory in Trichy. They make this rifle small arms for us. It is exactly 6 months. Now this person who has got a small factory, who does this foundry and purging and all, he is supplying 3 very small component which comes in a rifle, but he is manufacturing and he is able to supply 3. And so far he has done around 25 lakhs of business. That's a very good start, I would say. Like 10 years before, this was all unimaginable. We need to really appreciate, like we can compare ourselves with the Western countries, we can always crib about a country, but we are changing and we are changing pretty fast. Any other questions, sir? Yeah. Rifle gun, it can be manufactured by private, it can be manufactured by the government.
Government, okay. So I think partly government is manufacturing some PSUs.
Government is not manufacturing anything technically.
No, for Bell, I think.
There is no more ordnance factory.
BHEL not?
No.
Okay. Only private players is do that from import.
I'll just give me time to explain. OFB, the Ordnance Factory Board, has been dissolved last year.
Dissolved.
All the factories of Ordnance Board are independent companies now.
Okay.
They are one of the company. You have a company, you can participate. And Army will give a requirement.
Okay.
Any other friendly country also can participate.
Okay.
If you are able to provide the quality,
okay,
then the Army is so very, very happy to buy.
What will the annual procurement capex level could be? Annual procurement capex level.
Capex available.
Capex availability for the supply.
That is quite huge.
Huge.
It's very huge. We are the second largest importer of arms and ammunition in the world.
Oh, okay. I will, if you are available, I discuss with the offline for capex.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So, considering we're, most of us here are startups and SMEs, so, if we are able to identify certain items from that indigenization list, and if we think we have the strength to go behind certain items, what does the, government look for in a startup, considering you have inspection and everything that is going to happen before you even taken a product as a sample? What does the government really look for from a startup to start engaging and doing more business with them?
See, cyber, are you specifying about
no,
cyber?
I'm probably talking about these indigenization
okay. See, the indigenization list, the list is already here. As I said, IDEX has given, every user has given a problem statement. Boss, this is what my problem is. If you are able to develop a product or a service for that particular problem, you can go and interact, you can co-create also. Because the user also has a lot of technical expertise. So you can co-create also. If you are able to do it, then the product comes into, then your idea has been approved, you will be awarded, and then you are given the defense startup recognition without any hassles which a company goes through. Once you have the defense startup, then you can diversify, think of a further higher version of the product, or you want to go horizontally, you have multiple products for the same industry, that's wide open to you. The other thing where you will find a bit of struggle even now, that's because of a thinking process, is that I have an idea but I don't find that in the site. The need is not there in the site, but I feel that this product is required. Then you have to approach the particular user. Like for example, somebody spoke to me day before yesterday, a company, a textile company based out of Tripur. They have developed a very lightweight thermal insulated fabric. Now, maybe HVF is not the right organization in Chennai to do so, or maybe an army unit in Coimbatore is not the right place to do so. But if you go to the Northern Command's website, or to the Northern Army, you go and meet them, or you can write an email, everything is available. In fact, they respond too well on Twitter as well. You start following their handles, they are very, very active in Twitter. If you respond, you can DM to them, boss, this is what I have, I want to send you a sample or I want to meet you. Then that's it. See, this is a very wide, it's an ocean. Even somebody who has put in 40 years of service in the military cannot say that I know everything about this. It's a huge ocean. So you need to go and meet the right people. That becomes critical. Any other questions? Okay, thank you all. Jayan. Yes, sir, please. My mail ID is Major, M-A-J-O-R, all small, M-A-D-H-A-N, South Indian Madhan, sorry, M-A-J-O-R, M-A-D-H-A-N, K-U-M-A-R, Major Madhan Kumar at gmail.com. You can just drop me a note where we met. We met in Defense Expo, we can discuss this. M-A-J-O-R, M-A-D-H-A-N, K-U-M-A-R, all continuous at gmail.com. Thank you all, and thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for being with us here and spending a lot of your time here and explaining all the doubts. Thank you. I request Mr. Rajaram, one of the trustees of the Swatantra Foundation, to honor.